Hello and welcome. We are on page number 14 of chapter 2 of ICA study material. We have to start with the topic forms of supply. We already learned about section 7 of the CGST Act. Now it defines what do you mean by supply, and section 7 subsection 1 clause A of the CGST Act states that there are many forms of supply, and those forms of supply are sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental or disposal. So there are several forms of supply. What are they? They are sale. Sale is a form of supply. Transfer is a form of supply. Barter is a form of supply. Exchange is a form of supply. License, rental, lease, disposal. Now, what is the meaning of all these terms? Does the CGST Act define any of these terms? No. The CGST Act has not at all defined these terms. Now, then how we should understand the meaning of these terms? So where the Act did not give you the definition of any term, you might have to refer to the dictionary meaning. So what we will do is, generally, where a term is not defined, then you may go to the General Clauses Act. If in the General Clauses Act also the term is not defined, you may go to the dictionary meaning. Generally, sale and transfer go together. What does the dictionary meaning of sale say? The dictionary meaning of the term sale is the act of selling. I am selling something. I bought this pen. This is a stylus. Now I bought this stylus. Now if I want to sell it, I want to transfer. So sale is nothing but the act of selling. I have come across a prospective buyer, Mr. A. I asked him, I have a stylus, will you buy? A asked me at what price you will sell the stylus. I quoted him some price. Now he accepted for buying that from me for that price. Now what I am doing? I am selling this stylus to A. It is nothing but a sale. Now what will happen is, in selling or sale, the transfer of ownership of title to the property will be done from one person to another person for a price. Now A has accepted for the purchase of this stylus from me for 2000 rupees. Now what will happen? I will transfer the possession of this stylus to A. Once I have transferred, and now it so happens that from this time onwards A will be the owner of this property. So what is happening in sale is, there will be transfer of ownership of title. The owner or the title holder of this stylus from this point of time will be Mr. A, because I sold it to him for rupees 2000 rupees. So sale and transfer go side by side. There will be a transfer of ownership of title in the property by one person to another person. One person is me, Another person is A. Let us say if you transfer your goods from head office to branch, will it be a sale? It can't be a sale. It might be a supply, but it can never be a sale because head office and branch are both one and the same persons. Of course, there is a concept of distinct person under the GST law. We will understand it at a later point of time. But however, there cannot be a sale between a head office and branch because both head office and branch are one and the same persons. There is a Sale of Goods Act 1930. As per that Sale of Goods Act 1930, a contract of sale of good is a contract whereby the seller transfers or agrees to transfer the property in goods to a buyer for a price. I and A agreed into a contract for sale whereby I, being the seller, transfers the stylus, or I may agree with A that I will transfer this stylus to you because today I have class. Once I complete my class, tomorrow I will transfer this to you for 2000 rupees. Now this is sale. Now the Black's Law Dictionary defines the term transfer. The Black's Law Dictionary defines the term transfer as to convey or remove from one place to another, etc. Pass or hand over from one to another, specifically to make over the possession or control of. So what will happen in transfer? To convey or remove this stylus from me and to Mr. A. I will pass on this stylus to Mr. A. I will hand over this stylus to Mr. A. What will happen is the possession or control will pass on to another person. Next, moving forward, barter and exchange is also included within the meaning of supply. What do you mean by barter and what do you mean by exchange? These two terms, similar to sale and transfer, go side by side, or they will be used interchangeably. Sale and transfer will also be used interchangeably. Now, what is a barter as per dictionary? Is exchange of goods or service for other goods or service instead of money. In barter system, what will happen is I will sell the good to the other person but as a consideration I won't be receiving money, but I may be receiving a good or a service from the other person from the transferring. So in a barter, the use of money is avoided. Instead of use of money, goods are exchanged for goods, goods are exchanged for service, service is exchanged for service, service is exchanged for goods. So what will happen is in barter, exchange of goods or service will be made for goods or service, and that too without the use of money. Then what do you mean by exchange? Exchange is also defined as an act of giving or taking one thing for another. Of course, Black's Law Dictionary defines the term exchange, but barter, a simple meaning has been given. So what do you mean by exchange? Exchange means as an act of giving or taking one thing for another. You give me pen, I will give you pencil. Now this is an exchange. You can even call it as a barter. Now Barter deals with a transaction which includes only exchange of goods or service. But exchange will be a situation where goods are partly paid in cash and partly in money and partly for goods or services. You can clearly understand the meaning of barter and exchange with the help of the following example. Let us say I have a car, Maruti 800. I am using it for the last 4 years. Now, what I want to do is I want to upgrade. And I want to upgrade to, let us say, another car, let us say Maruti Baleno. I want to upgrade to Maruti Baleno. What will I do with the old car which is with me? I won't be able to, or yeah, I can't maintain two cars, or maybe two car. I am not in need of two cars. I am in need of only one car. So I went to the showroom and inquired about the price of the new car. The showroom guy told me that the new car costs you 5 lakhs of rupees. Now I told him, I have one old car. You do one thing, you exchange this. You take my old car. Now why will that person take my old car? Is he a fool to take my old car? He will have a new sale contract only when he is able to take my old car. If that fellow says that I don't want to take your old car, what I will say, I won't buy a new car from you. I am comfortable using my old car, and I will say that and I will go back. So for him to push his sale of new car, he will accept my old car in the exchange. Now he will have a old car sales also. What he will do is he will display these used cars, and someone may be interested in and may not be able to spend 5 lakhs of rupees. That fellow is ready to spend only 1 lakh 10,000 rupees. Now that car showroom fellow will buy a car from me for 1 lakh, and he will sell to the other person for 1 lakh 10,000. My old car will be sold by that person to another person, and the showroom fellow will give me the or sell me the new car. Now this is a classic example of exchange. So here what is happening is the new car is sold to me, and the consideration by the showroom is received in two parts. One is the exchange of old car, and partly 4 lakhs will be through money. Now this is the example for exchange. Now what is the example for barter? Now coming to the example of barter, it is simple. Exchange of goods or service for exchange of goods or service. There is a doctor. Now he has treated a barber. Now barber has accepted to cut the doctor's hair. Now what is the case here? This is the classic example of a barter wherein the service is done for another service. Now here there is no transaction of money either in part or full. But as far as exchange is concerned, the part consideration is in money terms, and the part consideration is for exchange of another good or service. Now, license, lease, rental, and disposal. So, supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, and license, lease, rental, and disposal. Now, what do you mean by license? License is a permission granted by a competent authority to engage in a business or occupation or in an activity which is otherwise unlawful. let us take the example of mining. Now I have money, I have equipment. Can I go to a place where mica is available and start digging the mica and export it to other countries or sell it in our country? Can I do that? You can never do that. For that, you need a mining license from the government. I have to apply a license to the state government or central government depending upon the constitution, laws, regulations, etc. Now let me take the example of, let's say in this example, to mine mica, I should take the license or permission from the state government of Andhra Pradesh. Now what will happen? I will pay a license fees. Andhra Pradesh state government will give me a permission to explore and mine mica for a period of 5 years. Now this is license. Now without license or permission, is it mining, is it a legal activity or a illegal activity? Illegal activity. Without the license it becomes illegal activity. Now what is a disposal? Black's Law Dictionary defines disposal. Now let us, before going into the this definition given by the Black's Law, now generally we will understand when you will use the term disposal. Disposal of waste. Let us, or disposal of scrap. Disposal of scrap. Now generally this disposal means sale, pledge, give away, use, consume, or any other disposition of the thing. You have this. This is a what you call as a a case which is made of a paper, or a, what you may say, you can say it as a cardboard. Now this stylus came with this thing. Now what I want to do is, I want to use the pen separately. I am feeling somewhat uncomfortable every day to take out this from this case and removing the pen. What I am contemplating is, I want to keep the pen as it is separately. Now what should I do with this? I should dispose it off. Dispose it off means what I can do? I can throw it in the dustbin. It is a disposal of this case. What I can do? I thought that okay, right, fine, this may fetch me 10 rupees. Why losing 10 rupees unnecessarily by throwing into the dustbin? And what I have done is, I went to a waste paper fellow who buys and sells waste papers. I went to him and told him that I want to give this away to you, and how much you will give. He told me that he will give me 5 rupees. I asked him 10 rupees. The we both of us agreed at 8 rupees. Now this is disposal. This is disposal. Or what I have done is, my kid came to me, daddy, do you want this? I want this to play. Okay, I gave it away to him. Okay, take it away, you use it. This is also disposal, right? So disposal is something wherein you may sell it, you may pledge it, you may give it away, you may use it, you may consume it. The thing is, that particular item will not be with you anymore. That is disposal. Now What do you mean by rental? What do you mean by rent? Let us understand a normal meaning of rent. You, as a CA student, came to Hyderabad to join in a coaching institution to pursue your CA course. You will go to the coaching center every day, but you should have a place to live. So you took a room on rent. So what is rental? It is an arrangement to rent something. The landlord of your room, what he has done, he has let his property to you for money. And what you pay to the landlord to stay in that room is nothing but rent. Now, what is a lease? Generally, rent and leasing go side by side. In a lease, what will happen is a legal agreement is made. Now, for which the legal agreement is made? The legal agreement is made for use of land, building, vehicle or equipment for money for an agreed period. Generally, rent refers to shorter periods. We will use the term lease for longer periods. We'll do one thing. Out of curiosity, we will search the web for rent versus lease. So what does our Google say? What does the Google say? Lease is a contract for a specific period of time. Rent is the payment made under the term of lease. Now lease is a contract for a specific period of time, while rent this is as per uh, uh, there is a site which will give you the differences. Now lease versus rent agreement, Wall Street Mojo. Lease is a type of agreement where lessor gives possession of his assets to the lessee for a predetermined period in lieu of periodic payments, where maintenance of such is the responsibility of the lessee, whereas rent is an arrangement where the possession is transferred by the asset owner or landlord to its tenant for periodic payments, where the landlord can change the terms subsequently, and it is generally for a short term. And it is generally for a short term. So different people have different meanings for rent and lease. So basically what we can understand, rent is an agreement to rent something for money. What you pay is called as a rent. Now what is a lease? There is a legal agreement. Money is paid for use of land, building, vehicle or piece of equipment for an agreed period or a time or agreed period of time. Now, under the GST law, licenses, leases, rentals with or without the transfer of right to use are covered under the term supply. Now what will happen is, under these forms of supplies, there will not be any transfer of title, but still these transactions are specifically treated as provision of service as per Schedule 2 of the CGST Act. Now what is Schedule 2? We will discuss at a later point of time. Now, another consideration or a parameter for chargeability of GST is consideration. One is supply. Now, in order to constitute a taxable event under GST, it should be a supply of goods or service or both for a consideration in the course of or for furtherance of business. Now we have understood the components of supply are the forms of supply. There are many forms of supply as contemplated in section 7 subsection 1 clause A, being a sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease or disposal. We have dealt with the meaning of all these forms of supplies, and also we have examined certain examples to understand the concept of these terms in a better manner. Now coming to another component of levy of GST, it is consideration. Now do you mean that consideration means always a payment in money? Of course, we already understood or defined what do you mean by consideration, and also we defined the term money. The consideration for supply can be either in money or in kind. Now, what do you mean by kind? Kind means exchange. We already understood that exchange is a form of supply. A supplied an article to B in exchange of another article. Now here the consideration is not in money, but the consideration is in kind. Also you should understand that the consideration need not always flow from the recipient of supply. For example, this can be explained through an example. So what is that example? Let us say there is one Mr. A who supplied goods to B. Now what has B to do? B has to pay consideration to A. B has to pay consideration to A. But in this case, B is not paying the consideration. Who is paying the consideration? Who is paying the consideration? C is paying the consideration to A. Who supplied goods? A supplied goods to B. But who paid the consideration? C paid the consideration to A. Why is C paying the consideration? There may be a number of reasons why C is paying. We will not go into the reasons why C is paying here, but we will understand that consideration need not be received from the recipient. It can even be received from a third party. That we should understand. Okay, next. Moving forward, consideration will not include any subsidy given by the central government or state government. Is a deposit to be considered as a consideration? Deposit can't be considered as a consideration. It will be treated as consideration only when it is adjusted at the time of payment. Okay, next. Already we learned the definition of consideration under section 2 subsection 31 of the CGST Act. Now we will understand it in the pictorial representation. So what do you mean by consideration? Consideration means payment in money or otherwise. Consideration means payment in money or otherwise. So consideration need not be always in the form of money. It means payment in money or otherwise. Now it need not be money. It can be even be an act or a forbearance. What do you mean by forbearance? To tolerate. Forbearance meaning is to tolerate. Tolerate something. We dealt with an example of a toleration in one of our preceding classes. So consideration can be in the form of money, or it need not be in form of money, but by any act or forbearance. Now this has to be valued. That will become the consideration. Now who has to pay? Either the consideration is to be paid by the recipient or any other third party also. Now can deposit be considered as a consideration? No, but only when it is adjusted towards consideration, then only deposit. So at the time of giving deposit, it can't be considered as a consideration. But finally, suppose when the service has been completed and then the deposit will be treated as consideration and the balance payment will also be received. Then the deposit plus balance payment will become the consideration. Now, consideration will not include subsidy given by the central government or the state government. Next. Now, suppose there is a supply of good or service or both. Now there is no consideration. Now will it be treated as supply? It can't be treated as supply, but there is an exception to that. In respect of activity or a transaction referred to in Schedule 1 of the Act, those transactions or activity will be considered as a supply even though it is not made for consideration. Consideration is one of the important ingredient for levy of GST. But there are certain exceptions wherein in respect of activities or transactions given in Schedule 1 of the Act, even though those transactions or the activities are carried out for without consideration, but still it will be treated as a supply. Now, what are the transactions or items which have been given in the Schedule 1? Already we have dealt with those items, but we will have a detailed discussion of the contents of Schedule 1 at a later point of our discussion. Now, we skipped one of the circular of GST, and that circular states that artwork sent by artists to gallery for exhibition is not a supply, as no consideration flows from the gallery to the artist. What we have learned is one form of supply is a transfer. One form of supply is a transfer. Now we understood the meaning of the transfer. There is a change in possession, or there is a change in control, or the disposal. We also have learnt about disposal. I handed over something to somebody. Now I made a painting. Now what I have done is there is some art exhibition going on. I went to the administrators or the persons who have who are the organizers of that art exhibition. I went to them, I gave the painting or handed over the painting, gave the possession of my painting to the art gallery organizers and asked them to display my painting in the art gallery. Now, will this tantamount to supply? Because there are many forms of supplies including sale, barter, exchange, lease, rental, disposal and whatnot. So now my handing over of my painting to the art gallery, will it amount to the supply or not? Now what the CBIC has clarified is that wide circular number 22 dated 21st December 2017, my handing over of the artistic work or artwork to a art gallery can't be considered as a supply. Now, when it will become supply? Now, one of the visitor of the art gallery or art exhibition showed interest in my painting, and he wanted to buy my painting. Now, one of the visitors selected my painting. Now, then then only the actual supply takes place, when that buyer picks up the my artwork or painting, and he pays the money to the organizers. Organizers will pass on the money to me. Only when the buyer selects my painting for purchase, then only it will be considered as a supply. Now, coming to next ingredient.
మామూలుగా ఇక్కడ చెయ్యి కట్ అయిందంట కత్తితో చాలా నొప్పి వస్తుందంట దానికి ఇంజక్షన్ చేయించాలా అని ఒకసారి అయితే చూడమంది నార్మల్ ఒకసారి
The next concept what we have to understand is, in the course of or furtherance of business. This is also one of the component of supply. The first component is there should be supply of good or service or both. It should be for consideration, and it should be in the course of furtherance, in the course of or furtherance of business. Now, what is the meaning of in the course of or furtherance of business? Generally, GST is only on commercial transactions. So, only those supplies which are made in the course or furtherance of business will be treated as a supply under GST. So, all the personal capacity transactions will be kept outside the purview of GST. Now, let us take the example. Before understanding in the course of or furtherance of business, we should understand the meaning of business. Already the term business we have defined in section 2 subsection 17 of CGST Act. It has so many components. The term business has so many components, and we have understood and defined it in section 2 subsection 17. But again what we will do is, we will understand it through a flowchart method or a pictorial representation. Now, business is an inclusive definition. It includes any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, etc., even though there is no monetary benefit. Means there it defines that whether or not for pecuniary benefit. We on that day what we have done is, in that class we also searched the Google for the meaning of pecuniary. Pecuniary means monetary benefit. With or without pecuniary benefit means pecuniary means monetary benefit. Also, it includes any activity incidental or ancillary to it, and also where a trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, etc. is carried on, irrespective of the volume, irrespective of the continuity. You traded today, you don't know whether you trade tomorrow, you don't know whether you trade next year, but still for the trade carried on today by you, it will be treated as a business. Supply or acquisition of goods including capital goods and services in connection with the commencement or closure of business. What I have done is, I have supplied or acquired goods including capital goods and services. For what purpose? For commencing the business or for closing the business. It will also be considered as business, or it is also included in the term business. Provision of facility by a club or association to its members for consideration is business. Admission to any premises for consideration is also business. You are holding an office and it has been accepted in the course of or furtherance of your trade or profession, it is also business. The activity of a race club will be business. Any activity by the central government or the state government or the local authority as a public authority is also business. So what we have done is, though we have defined business in our previous classes under section 2 subsection 17 of the CGST Act, what we are doing is we have again understood what are all the items which are included in the term business. Now, here what we understood is any activity incidental to or ancillary to the main activity will also be business. I have a sugar factory. My main activity is manufacture of sugar. In the process of manufacture of sugar, molasses is the byproduct. Now, this molasses I may also sell, or let us say something is my main activity. Let us say there is a Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams. What is their main activity? Their main activity is providing darshan to the devotees. What they will also do? They will also print diaries and calendars, sell them. Sell laddu prasadams. So main activity is providing darshan. Ancillary activity is printing of diaries, calendars, selling of prasadam, etc. So any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, etc., whether or not for monetary benefit, and includes any activity incidental or ancillary to that main activity. So also what we have understood is the any activity by government or local authority as a public authority, and also what we have understood is the provision of facilities by club or association to its members for consideration, admission for consideration to any premises. So all these types we have already discussed, and what we understood is irrespective of the frequency or volume or continuity, also if any of these transactions are carried out, it will be considered as business. Let us go for some examples. R buys car for his personal use and after a year sells it to a car dealer. We already dealt with this example at the beginning of this class. Now, sale of car by R to a car dealer, will it be treated as a supply? It can't be treated as a supply because R has not supplied in the course or furtherance of business. However, here we should understand one point. The car of Mr. R is a personal effect, and he no more needs the car. So he went and he sold it to a dealer, car dealer. He disposed of his car. But if we understand the term business, it says that irrespective of the nature, even if no volume or continuity, so a single isolated transaction may also be included in the term business. But however, This example has been specifically given by the departmental frequently asked questions in a press release. These two examples were specifically given in the departmental frequently asked questions or press releases. They specifically said that this will not be treated as a supply. But however, law is supreme. What is laid down in the law is supreme. So, and we will take the another example. Mrs. M, what she has done is she sold her old bangles, which is made up of gold, to one of the jewelers. Now she got fed up or she was bored of wearing that model of the bangle anymore. So what she wanted to do is, and she wanted to dispose of that bangles. She went to a jewelry store and there she sold it. Now this is a single isolated transaction. There is no continuity also. Now what the press release given by the department states that it is not a supply because this is a personal effect of Mrs. M, and this transaction is not done in the course or furtherance of business. But however, another view is also possible wherein the continuity is not a criteria to treat a transaction or activity as a supply or as a business. Now, business includes vocation also. So, sale of goods or service as a vocation is also a supply under GST. Let us say Mr. S is a famous actor, and what he has done is he has painted a painting, and because that fellow is a famous fellow, if he paints also, that painting will also become famous and there will be somebody to buy that. Now what this fellow has done is he sold that painting, and the money received from the sale of such painting he has donated to a charitable trust. Now, will this sale of painting by the actor qualifies as a supply? Yes, it will qualify as a supply because the vocation, business includes vocation. Now, services provided by a club or association to its members for a consideration is a supply. Suppose there is an apartment, it has 20 flats. They have formed a welfare association of the owners. Owners have formed a welfare association, and what will happen is this welfare association will pay the bills, electricity bills of all the residents, and this is a service that is done by the welfare association because all the 20 flat owners are employees, both husband and wife of all wives who live in all the 20 flats are all employees. They will not find any time in the month to go and pay the electricity bill. So this they formed a welfare association, owners welfare association. They have appointed a person to look after the entire flats, all the flats. Now what they will do is every month they will give the current bill as well as the money to pay the bill to that clerk of the welfare association. The clerk of welfare association will go and pay the bill. Now for this what the flat owners will do is they will pay some service charges to the welfare association. Now this service charge what has been given by the member of the welfare association. Now what is happening? The welfare association is providing service to the member for a consideration. Now this is business. This is business. Now admission to any premises for a consideration is business. There is a circus. I want to watch circus. What I have to do? I have to buy ticket, go inside, sit there and watch the circus. Now what is this? Some consideration is collected for entry into a premises. Now this is business. This is course or furtherance in the course or furtherance of business. The activity of race club is also a business. Now, if we take the example, there is a Royal Race Club. Now, what that Race Club does, it facilitates betting, wagering. Wagering is nothing but betting on horses placed through totalizator. What is totalizator? It is a form of computer wherein it calculates all the receipts from the bettors. Thereafter, it will deduct the commission that has to be given to the Royal Race Club, and it will also divide the prize monies. Now, here, for providing the service of facilitating wagering transaction, Royal Turf Race Club gets commission, which is deducted and retained by the club from the total bet value. Now, what this Royal Turf Race Club is doing? It is doing a service. It is facilitating betting of horse races. Now, for which this Royal Turf Race Club will receive commission. Now, this is business. What this race club is doing is nothing but business. Now, for a transaction to be treated as supply, there should be consideration. And it should be done in the course of or furtherance of business. Now, there is an exception to this rule. You are importing service from outside the country for a consideration, though it is made not in the course or furtherance of business, but still it will be treated as a supply. Now, we have learned 3 topics today. One is supply. Supply includes many components. 2 is consideration. 3 is in course or furtherance of business. Now, to constitute a transaction to be treated as a supply under GST, all the 3 should be satisfied. But of course, for consideration, there are certain exceptions, and for those items which are given in Schedule 1 of the Act. Now, for in course or furtherance of business, there is an exception. Import of service for a consideration, though it is not done in course or furtherance of business, but still it will be treated as supply. Now, supply leviable to GST. Now, what we will do is we will deal with this topic in our next class.